Hello, and welcome to Public Library Weekly. Today, we will be discussing books and putting them in the right place. For instance, if there's a book written about Albert Einstein, but not written by Albert Einstein himself, by golly, if someone puts that in the autobiography section, they are in trouble because I will just snap.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 15th episode of Bonus Features with Alex and Robert. I'm Robert.
And I'm Alex.
So how you been? You catch that just riveting finale to that NBA Finals game?
It could, no human being on Earth could have predicted those results.
I know, right? Not even the Golden State Warriors.
Not even the Golden State Warriors.
They looked so energetic during their I can't keep up. Just look how done with it did they look in that celebration?
They're just like, yeah, big deal. We did it again. Who gives a shit? I'm a champion. It's just like no other. Like even when you repeat in other sports, like no one's that jaded about it.
Yeah, I mean at least Michael, kept it interesting. He had the flu game and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's
and then he had that game. I was watching the YouTube of it recently, like the last minutes Jordan played as a Bull or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it was ecstatic, because he was getting cold, and then he makes that one shot. It's like holy shit, he did it. Mm-hmm. But I can tell you who wasn't jaded and done with it all. Mr. Ovechkin.
No,
not that I wanted them to win because I hate the Capitals, but hats off to them.
Yeah,
they really were the best team basically all year, and
they pulled through.
Well, they pulled through, but it was more so that they didn't choke, because I would say this, even though I dislike both these teams, the Blues and the Capitals. There's so many years where those two teams just. And this is like the past 15-ish years. There's been so many years where they could have easily won it all, but they just fuck up in the finals, or not in the finals, in the playoffs somewhere. But this year, I was like, man, when they made the finals, I thought this has got to be it.
Man,
and then it ended up happening in Vegas. They battled, but they came up short because. They're just not as good of a team. The Capitals are too good.
I'm always going to hate the Blues more.
Oh, for sure.
Just because St. Louis is the city where Chicago sports dreams go to die.
That's true.
They're the dream killers.
That's right.
But enough of that.
But how about CM Punk? Speaking of riveting events.
Yeah.
The CM Punk-Mike Jackson fight.
Oh, boy.
So Dana White, as I told you, he was not happy with the results. And it's like, well... That's what you get when you put two guys with 0-1 records on the main card. Mm-hmm. And then Yoel Romero missed weight again. It's crazy. It's a shame, really.
Yeah, I only heard about it. I didn't see it though, just because I'm not invested in that. I wasn't invested in that fight.
I mean, I missed it. Unfortunately, I just had to watch highlights. Mm-hmm. But you know what's going to happen?
What's that?
Deontay Wilder. And what's his name? Anthony Joshua.
Oh, yeah, you were talking about
Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. I can't wait.
It should be interesting.
It should be an exciting fisticuffs. This is without the kicking and the grappling.
And the flavor.
It's just the punching.
Yeah.
With the punching and maybe the hugging until the ref breaks it up. Right. But yeah. Oh, no, we did it again.
But, yeah. It's not an official episode until we get one in.
I suppose you're right.
Just so they know it's us.
All right, moving along. So that's sports, weather, and traffic. They don't exist.
No,
they're gone. So moving along to news. What do we got first?
Well, before news, we got a little something different to start off the show. We got a couple of shout-outs.
Oh, you're right. People, we got some shout-outs.
We do. Go ahead.
Well, one of them is for my friend. He's got a podcast called Hip Hop Heads Anonymous. So for all your latest news and reviews and current events in hip-hop, head on over to his channel. You can find him on SoundCloud or on Facebook. Again, that's Hip Hop Heads Anonymous.
Yes, and my plug is for another podcast called Bad Movie Brunch. It's a weekly podcast spearheaded by friends of bonus features and self-avowed movie masochists Luke and Katie. Each week, Luke and Katie select a noted bad movie to discuss, breaking down the ridiculous plot twists, ludicrous character moments, but also celebrating some of the film's more hidden merits that both critics and fans may have overlooked. So far, they've looked at like Batman v Superman, Victor Frankenstein, Pokemon the movie, I Choose You, Rock of Ages. They recently did Heavyweights, which is just a favorite of mine, but check them out. They're also on SoundCloud as well.
All right, so there you go. Hip Hop Heads Anonymous and Bad Movie Brunch.
All right, now moving on to news. Our first news story comes courtesy of Drew Goddard. Are you familiar with the man?
He is the guy who helped co-write Cabin in the Woods, correct?
He sure did.
Okay, that's what I thought.
He also, I think, wrote The Martian, which is good, but this movie that he's got coming out that he's directing is Bad Times at the El Royale. What do you think about this trailer that we just got?
I'm very excited about this movie, and I've noticed this sort of psychedelic filmmaking. I don't know what to call it. Mm-hmm. It's sort of making a comeback.
Very 70s, like
but
I
not.
What you mean.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like it's trying too hard, which is what's good. Because normally that like subgenre of like weird for the sake of being weird movies, I hate those.
Right.
And I'm just like, it's too much. But if you do it in the right circumstances, you got a nice setting. Like right away from the thing where they're at the is that a real hotel, by the way?
I have no clue. I figured it was fictitious.
Well, I like the idea. It's like you can choose a room in California or in Nevada.
Yeah, that's just immediately you're interested. You're like, right. That's an interesting idea for a place.
Exactly. It's just like when a movie does something like that, where it's like there's something immediate that you can cling to, just as a thought, because you're thinking, oh, well, that's neat. Like, what's the difference in the rooms? Which one would I choose?
Right.
I think I'd be a Nevada guy.
Yeah, I think I would also be.
Just for the hell of it.
Yeah, I'd go to California, maybe during the winters.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
it doesn't matter.
Right.
But I immediately was attracted to that whole premise right there.
You know, this looks like a movie. By the way, Drew Goddard actually co-wrote and directed. What's it called? Cabin in the Woods. I believe. So he's got that. That is actually his first directorial effort.
Really?
Yes, but this one, I like how much different this looks. I mean, it looks like it's got a lot going on in it. There's some like crime elements in there, some thriller elements, but it's also being described as like having some horror type stuff going on in it.
Well, with the whole surveillance thing,
right?
And that's kind of what's funny is you know how there'll be certain themes that directors are just kind of obsessed with or just do a lot of. Mm-hmm. You know, like Hayao Miyazaki, he's got a lot of environmental messages and stuff like that. And it's not like it's always the same. It's just like you notice it. It's like little
Drew Goddard and Cabin in the Woods in this. It's like there's something behind the scenes happening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like,
he's
got sort of an inkling to talk about surveillance in a way. And I think that's obviously going to play a big part.
Oh yeah. This cast looks good too.
There's one moment at the end of the trailer, and I won't tell our listeners what it is.
Oh.
It's just like I'm like, yeah, I kind of figured that, but did you have to like confirm it?
Oh, is it something involving Jeff Bridges?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
But again, I think all the characters look interesting. The setting looks interesting.
I looked at the cast of this, and of course, the trailer shows it's Chris Hemsworth, Jeff Bridges, John Hamm, Dakota Johnson, Cynthia Erivo, but there's some. If you look at the IMDb and like some of the underlying news stories about this, there have also been some other people involved in the filming process of this that I'm intrigued to see if they show up.
And who might that be?
Do you want me to spoil it?
Sure.
Okay, well, Russell Crowe.
Okay.
So Russell Crowe's involved in this. I don't know where he is. He's not in the trailer. I'm hoping he's got a cool part because Russell Crowe cameos are fun.
Either way, I'm just glad that as much as, you know, we're huge hypocrites in that we are kind of those people who complain about reboots and stuff.
Right.
But
I'll see them.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see the ones I like.
Uh-huh.
And it's just nice that we do have original movies still.
Oh, yeah.
You know. And I think this one looks like it could be a good one.
This looks refreshing.
I'm pretty sure out of that month, it's the one I'm probably most looking forward to.
When does that come out again?
It's October, which doesn't have a lot. It has Venom, but
yeah, no, I was gonna say it's no Venom though.
like someone's like gun to head, and you're like only allowed to choose one. I'm like, all right, I'll go to Bad Times at El Royale for sure.
Yeah, no, this definitely looks like it'd be refreshing.
Right, so that's that. Moving along to our next news story. What do we got?
Well, we have Matthew Vaughn, per his production company Marv. We've got some news regarding some of the projects he's developing.
Yeah, this is the thing. He's got a bunch of stuff going on right now.
A lot of things involving specifically a multi-time collaborator, Mark Millar.
Right.
He's developing is it a reboot of Kick-Ass? Is that what I heard?
I believe it is, because they recently made a comic book where it's this new girl, Patience Lee, is Kick-Ass instead of Dave Mankiewicz or whatever the hell his name is.
So
that's the TCM guy.
Yeah.
Whatever. The David kid.
Yeah.
Dave
Lazewski, that's
something.
His name. Yeah. So we have that. We have a Hit Girl spin-off, it seems like, and some Kingsman spin-offs that are kind of, as of right now, unspecified.
Right. I'd definitely be interested in the Kick-Ass reboot. Mm-hmm. I think, again, the mantle passing thing usually bugs me, but I think the point of Kick-Ass is that it's not, a super person. That's the whole idea of it. It's like, what if normal people decide, like or for lack of a better word, realistic people decided to do this? Mm-hmm. So, in this case, I'll make an exception for mantle passing. Yeah. The Hit Girl, I'm not interested in. I feel like Hit Girl's such a one-hit wonder in terms of like comedy. Yeah,
I feel like I just I don't know. I need to hear more about these. Are these coming to Netflix? Are they going to be released in theaters? I don't know. Like, are these going to be TV shows? Are they going to be movies? I don't know.
The Kick-Ass thing I thought was supposed to be a movie, but I think it was supposed to be a movie, and then I think the Kingsman stuff, I think that was supposed to be a TV show, maybe?
Yeah, I heard it's like they made a prequel, or there's like a prequel coming out about that he's developing in addition to the third Kingsman movie.
Oh yeah, I've been hearing a bunch of stuff like they want to do a Statesman, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of things in play here. I don't know if any of them are going to happen.
I would say the most likely is the Kick-Ass reboot, which I'd be totally game for.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
All right.
And obviously the Kingsman third installment will happen eventually.
While on the subject of reboots and all that good stuff, we finally got the new Halloween trailer.
We sure do.
And I want to tell people, this is the fourth timeline.
Yes.
Because, like, when you go on the fan wiki of Halloween, there's different tabs for each character's biography.
God. That's so weird.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's crazy. So, here's the thing. To give people a quick rundown, this might take a few minutes. Okay. So, in the main timeline, you got one, where it's just like, he kills a bunch of people, and it's like, wow, why the hell did he choose Haddonfield, Illinois? It's like, well, that's because that's where he's born and all that. Mm-hmm. In 2, it's revealed that Laurie Strode is Michael Myers' sister, and that she was adopted.
Yes. Now she is she or is she?
No. See, I've got a theory about that, but let me continue. So then you got 3 didn't count, 4 through 6, a bunch of wacky stuff happened. Okay. Then 7 came out, and it effectively erased 4 through 6.
Okay.
3 doesn't count because it's not even really a Halloween movie. Mm-hmm. And then 8 came, or what the hell is it called? Resurrection came out. And then that stuck with the H2O timeline.
Yes. But then
they did the remakes, and I know I might catch some flack for this. I really liked the first one. Mm-hmm. It's amazing my disparity between how much I liked the first one and how much I hated the second one.
Okay.
And then what happened was they made... now they're making this one.
Now they got this. Yeah.
But here's where it gets tricky. You'd think, well, why... Okay, so it undoes H2O timeline, because it gets rid of the fact that Michael Myers finally kills Laurie in Resurrection.
Right.
However, And so you're like, oh, so it's going to be 1 and 2. It's like, no. Now it's just 1. Mm-hmm. Because 2, as I'd mentioned, has the crucial information that reveals that they are related.
And in the trailer, they say that they aren't.
Right. I have a theory that
maybe it is.
Maybe they are. They're just trying to throw you off. But yeah.
So in that way, is it, if they reveal in this that they're related, does that still count out Halloween 2? Or is this still the...
No, so that's what I'm saying. This one only counts out 1.
Okay, good. So this is the sequel to Halloween.
Essentially, yeah.
Right
yeah,
now.
So for a 4th timeline and 2 retcons, God, this shit is complicated. And there was actually something I noticed that doesn't really make sense. Mm-hmm. And I literally, I researched this for way longer than I should have because it was just bugging me. Mm-hmm. Where the hell was Laurie when Judith Myers gets killed? Because she's 2 at the time, so she's alive. It's not... Because what happens is, she's 2, Michael Myers is 6, and Judith is, 16. Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, her original name is Cynthia, according to the comic book tie-ins.
Dear God.
Or, the novelization or whatever. I don't know if any of that shit counts. But anyway... So again, she's alive, but it's where the hell is she then? Is she in the parents' car? Or is she in the house? What the fuck is going on?
God, I have no idea.
I know it's a nitpick, but I'm kind of you need to, I just want a fucking simple answer. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Well, there are a lot of things that might clue into the fact that this is much more of the official Halloween sequel now. Because this is the first time this is the first time since the original Halloween that we've seen Nick Castle reprise his role as Michael Myers. Yeah.
Well, technically, there's several Mike Myerses.
Yes.
Well, even in the first one, there was the stunt guy, and then there was the one they used for long shots. It's weird because I actually met the other one at a convention once. His name is Tony Moran.
Oh, right. Yeah. I know him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's there's multiples, but yes, Nick Castle is back.
And we got John Carpenter doing the score.
Yeah, which only makes sense.
It's just, the trailer looks fine. It looks fun. I like old Laurie Strode, shooting guns and shit. That's cool.
I think my favorite part was when he just knocks on the stall and just reaches over and just drops a handful of clearly yanked out teeth.
Yeah.
It's oh man, we're dealing with a brutal man here.
Co-written, by the way, by Danny McBride. We talked about this.
Yeah.
Still weirds me out. Not in a bad way. I'm just who would have known?
But there was one thing though that I didn't understand. So apparently a lot of people, a lot of the fans of the first one really, the really diehard ones, actually hate the fact that they're related. Now it's not scary anymore. It's that didn't stop him from plowing through people to find her.
Right.
I don't get how that makes him... It's not he's are you Laurie? No? Okay. Go on your way.
Right.
It's he still just, brutalizes people before he gets to her.
It's the Terminator.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I didn't mind the trailer. I thought it looked interesting, and I'll see it,
Yeah. See, I don't have super high expectations for it, but considering how it looks and all that, I don't think it'll be very bad. I just don't think it'll be amazing. Mm-hmm. All right, so that's enough of that. Moving on, we'll keep this short. Suicide Squad has a new set of writers. Mm-hmm. So again,
here we go.
Yep, it's David Barr Katz and Todd Stashwick. Mm-hmm. And I guess that beats, giving them only 6 weeks to write a script and forcing something into production too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really know what to say about this. It's just they claim they're going to be shooting soon-ish. I'm sort of doubting that at this point. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm doubting that. Also, if it's worth anything, Stashwick actually worked on Gotham for a bit.
Yeah. Wasn't he an actor on it?
I don't know. I thought he wrote a little bit on it.
Whatever. I might be wrong. So, yeah, Suicide Squad 2 has new writers. Mm-hmm. And it should, if things go according to schedule, it'll be out 2020.
Okay. That's reasonable.
I heard now, I don't like doing the rumor mill, but I was hearing some rumbles that Deathstroke might be the main villain.
Ooh, that would make sense.
Well, yeah, exactly. When I heard that, I'm like, all right, great, let's roll with that. Like,
yes.
Because he's sort of street level.
Yeah.
I would say definitely
He doesn't have powers.
Well,
you know?
he kind of does.
Well, I mean, he
does. He has the, like,
superhuman,
super advanced, like,
senses.
Yeah, like the ones that are not like, he's not like Superman who can just like punch through walls.
Yeah.
So I think if that's true, what I really hope it is, then I'm totally on board, and I think Suicide Squad 2 could be a very big improvement from the last one.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
All right, so that's that. Moving on, the Old Spice guy is going to the movies.
Oh, yeah?
What on earth do I mean by that? Well, I'm talking about Isaiah Mustafa. He has been cast as the final member of the adult version of the Losers Club for It Chapter 2.
I like that.
That's right. The guy from the Old Spice commercials is he's now Mike Hanlon.
You know what? Terry Crews would have been a more interesting move, but you know, I'll take what I can get.
I was still holding out for Wayne Wilderson.
Yeah.
You know, because to me he's the Wamu guy.
Yeah.
But you know what? They did me one better because they chose, because my thing was, he might be a little too old. Mm-hmm. So they found someone from commercials. Mm-hmm. So they met me halfway.
There you go. Well, now we have an official Losers Club for,
right,
you know, present day, if you will. We have Jessica Chastain as Bev, James McAvoy as Bill, Jay Ryan as Ben, Bill Hader as Richie, James Ransone as Eddie, Andy Bean as Stanley, and now Isaiah Mustafa as Mike.
Yeah, I like the way this is shaped up. It's a good mix of, you know, some more familiar faces such as McAvoy and Chastain. Then you've got some people you kind of know. Like,
but more importantly, they look like the older versions of their counterparts.
That's actually something that's really noticeable with, who's it, the Eddie guy looks a lot like him.
James Ransone.
That's what I mean. I don't know that guy, James Ransone. So I'm saying it's a good mix of, you know, some lesser knowns and some pretty familiar people.
I can get behind the move.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this cast. I can't wait. All right, so moving along. So we didn't only get some news about It and Halloween and all that stuff. There's a lot of trailers, like an absurd amount of trailers.
I thought we were done last week. Come on, guys.
That's what's crazy is I think it was pretty much right after the day we recorded, they released a ton more. Mm-hmm. Some included Operation Finale, Girl in the Spider's Web, Wreck-It Ralph 2, Serenity, City of Lies, et al.
Et al, yes.
Yeah. So, did you have any that, like, you were interested in?
I'm pretty much interested in all of these except for Serenity.
Yeah, Serenity kind of looked like it's trying way too hard to be like a film noir.
Yeah, it looks a little boring. Like
it looks like
I'm sure killing's gonna happen, but something tells me it'll be like maybe one person will die, and they'll probably die by getting like pushed off a boat.
And it's gonna look really pretentious,
from like really far away.
It's gonna be filmed like a perfume commercial.
Yeah, yeah.
It's basically like the Lincoln Continental. The Lincoln. Remember in Adapt This? Mm-hmm. It's like we had the Adapt commercial about Matthew McConaughey's Lincoln thing as a movie. It's like basically this.
It's basically that.
And I don't know. It's kind of like, let's stylistically be like it, but not move out all, or, you know, but not drop all the dated stupid shit from film noir.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know, because on paper I was interested because I remember I had this on my radar, and then I saw this trailer. I'm like, I'm not down. This looks shitty.
But yeah, that was pretty much the only trailer that I had really strong negative feelings about. Everything else, Operation Finale, I saw the trailer of the other day.
Looks alright.
It looks good. Like, I like a good Nazi hunting movie. It made me, I don't know why, the trailer's just like really intense, but like as I was watching it, I'm like, there's nothing happening.
See, that was my issue. I think it'll probably be a good movie. I just didn't see a lot to, you know, sucker me in.
Right.
Other than the premise is cool. It's like, we gotta find them. It's like, who cares that the war's over? We gotta track them down because they're bastards. And it's like, all right, I get that. And then it's just like, all right, so let's get to it. It's like, nope, we're just gonna show talking and stuff.
Yeah. People are gonna walk at each other all slow and menacingly. It's like what's gonna happen? But will something happen?
Less yakking, more Nazi tracking.
Yeah.
You know, let's get them.
Let's get them.
Anyway, there's that.
The one that shocked me the most.
What's that?
You know what? Fine. I wanted to fucking hate it. I didn't want to fucking see this goddamn movie. You know what? Fine. I'll see a girl in the spider's web.
I'm not a fan.
Really?
No.
You know, the first 3, I'm like, there's no way that this Claire Foy is gonna sound. There's no way she's gonna pull Elizabeth Salander off.
She doesn't, dude. She's like Batman. It's like she's a superhero. It's stupid.
Well, I don't know if that's on her. I mean,
maybe that's not her fault
because this isn't based on any Stieg Larsson book.
That's why I just don't get it. You had 2 other books you could have done. Mm-hmm. They were by the original guy, and I just don't get this. No Fincher, no Rooney Mara.
See, I don't
no Rooney Mara.
When
no
she's
dice.
When she's reading off that thing, and it's like she's reading a laundry list. She's just like detached, like whatever, CEO that beat up 2 prostitutes or whatever, and I'm like, that sounds like her. That sounds like Elizabeth Salander. I can't fault them.
Nah, it sounds like a lame imitation.
Yeah, I don't know. It hit me. It hit me right. I'm not like super excited for it, but like. Yeah, I'm not like this. Doesn't to me like this isn't bad. This doesn't look horrible. Like it
doesn't look bad. It just doesn't look very good. It just looks like a lame.
But Alex, a car crashes into a tree.
Yeah, there's they're trying to make it's like Batman. It's like this is not what this series is. It's supposed to be. There is it's like there are moments of action where things happen, but that's not the point. It's more of a mystery suspense. It's like, look at the photos of the parade, and you're supposed to piece shit together, and mystery and intrigue.
Well, it definitely seems like there's a mystery here. I don't know what the hell it is, but it seems like there's someone from her past or something that's like, you fucked me up, and now you're gonna fucking pay. I don't know. There was nothing in this where I'm like, everything in this I'm like, yeah, this is fine. This looks like it looks like a Girl with the Dragon Tattoo spin-off or whatever. Like, looks like Elizabeth Salander movie. Or, what do they call that? The Millennium franchise?
Series, yeah.
It looks like it. And I'm like, all right, fine.
Yeah, it looks like a really good fan film. I'm not feeling it. It's just, there's something that feels very stale about it.
There's some stuff in there. I'm like, that looks like a cool action scene. The first scene, I'm like, Except
they did it in the first one, and it was like way better.
Oh well, yeah. Well, I haven't seen the first one.
No, I'm talking about the part where she's like, "I am crazy and I will kill you."
Yeah,
it's just that to me, it's more cool when Lisbeth is like, I don't know if she's actually crazy or if they just. I haven't read the books, but. The fact that she like messes with people's heads more. This one's just like, I'm a superhero. I'm a vigilante. Derp de derp. It's lame.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you gotta understand this.
What's that?
When you're saying it's like Batman, have we met? That's not deterring me. It's making me even more wet.
God, Jesus. Yeah, you know what? Fair point. I forgot who I was talking to.
I'm sopping at the gums here.
Yeah, I'm talking to the guy who actually bothered to see the newborn movies.
Oh, God. But that wasn't the only trailer we got.
I'm usually not a purist about things, but this one, it was not catching my attention.
No, I'll let you have it. I'm not a big Millennium franchise fan either. I just have seen the Fincher one.
I like the first one so much.
I like it too, and I don't think this won't be better than it.
No way,
sure.
Absolutely. That's my thing. Is if I'm pretty positive something's not going to be better than the last one, or at least on par. Mm-hmm. There's no reason for me to see it in theaters. All right, so we also had Wreck-It Ralph 2, which I'm kind of like don't care. I don't know.
Yeah, I was hoping that they went in a different direction. But
yeah.
It looks like they're kind of just going to the internet, and that's about it.
And then there was...
City of Lies.
Now, let me tell you something about this. Yeah. I actually saw this in front of Hotel Artemis.
Oh, yeah?
And originally on paper, I'm like...
I remember I showed you the trailer the other day, and like you watched like the first 10 seconds, and you're like, I don't know.
Did you?
Yeah, or it was like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago.
Whatever. It was something about... So it's about Biggie and Tupac's murderers. And originally I'm like, just from growing up in the 90s, you've heard these stories ad nauseum.
Oh yeah, conspiracy theories.
All the theories, all the different, takes on what happened, who did it, who didn't do it, all this crazy stuff, all the courtroom drama. But man, does this movie look good.
I know.
I'm not gonna lie, like that trailer, I was like, holy shit, this looks amazing.
It's pretty riveting.
Forrest Whitaker.
Oh yeah.
Back to business as a hungry journalist.
Johnny Depp not doing normie people movies anymore.
Yeah. You know what? I like it better. There's certain people I prefer to do normie movies.
Right.
And then there's certain people I don't.
Yeah.
He's done one really good normie movie.
First Pirates.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I didn't even have to say, and you knew.
That's about it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good to see him do these non-normie movies, but there's something about this. I have no idea what it is. It just looks
really intense.
I think that I like the tension between Johnny Depp, who's just like one of those done with the world kind of detectives, and he's just like, got another case. And then Forrest Whitaker's like, I want the story, you son of a bitch. So it's a good tension between the journalist side of the world of LA in the 90s.
Yeah.
And the police side. So it looks good.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
Looks really damn good.
Excited for it.
Also, glad to see Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, man.
He's so fucking good.
It's I'd like to see him not get killed in this as shittily as he was in Black Panther. Spoilers.
Right. Yeah, I kind of felt like he wasn't going to be in it for super... Like, he wasn't going to be in the... Like, he seems like guys like, yeah, I'll be in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
It's like, but I only want to be in one.
Yeah.
Not going to pigeonholed into this bullshit.
Can I get killed, please? I don't want to come back.
It's like, the script is, like, originally written one way. He gets a call, like, on set. Oh, hey, guys, could you kill off my character? I just got a call about this City of Lies movie. It's going to be really badass. Right. Anyway, so that's that. Moving on, we've got... Or are there any other trailers? Yes, no?
None that I really cared for.
All right, good, because we're way over time in news.
Okay, good.
All right, so...
We got a couple here we can kind of not rush through, but zoom through.
Well, yes. All right, so Rick Moranis et al. Will be making a SCTV reunion special.
I like that. Dave Thomas coming back?
I don't know. Why don't you look it up?
Okay, I'm pretty sure he is.
Well, it's going to be Joe Flaherty, Catherine O'Hara, Eugene Levy, all the,
You know who isn't going to be there?
Who's that? Well, a couple people can't be.
Great, John Candy.
John Candy, rest in peace, man.
That sucks.
I know. But I think it's cool that they're doing this.
Yeah, it sounds fun. It's interesting that Martin Scorsese's involved.
See, that's the part that I thought was really cool, is that he's directing. I don't know how that's going to help it at all.
I might not do anything, but who knows?
I just, could you imagine him, could you imagine him doing, any sketch show? It's like with Dave Chappelle. Now, remember, David, you're Rick James, and you say bitch at the end of everything, because you're on top of the world.
Now, Rick, you really don't like this couch.
Yeah.
Okay? You really just want to let this couch have it, okay?
Yeah, this couch is not your friend.
You got the mud on your shoes. You really want to let this couch have it.
Now, Charlie Murphy, you've got a tenuous relationship with.
And this is just This is going to be the killing stroke move for you, okay?
Speaking of Charlie Murphy, also rest in peace, man.
Oh man, I was almost over that one.
Yeah, miss the guy. Look what you did to my face. Classic. All right, so SCTV reunion happening. Next, we've got some stuff happening at the DCEU, as always. Mm-hmm. Geoff Johns is now stepping down from COO position at DC Entertainment so he can produce and write the Green Lantern Corps movie, which is now... has been confirmed via the production website of Geoff Johns that the main two stars will indeed be Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, which only makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that's the move, I think. Those are the two favorite Green Lanterns, Yeah,
and a lot of that's owed to Phil Lamar for Jon Stewart, because I liked him in the comics, but I mean, come on.
That voice.
It's like character. It's like what Kevin there's no way I would like Batman nearly as much or have discovered the comics nearly as much if it weren't for Batman the Animated Series and Kevin Conroy.
Oh yeah, I would say he's a close. Yeah. It's like Kevin Conroy is Batman, Mark Hamill is the Joker, and like what's her name is Wonder Woman.
Elizabeth something.
Yeah, and her.
Well, she's good.
I always hear her voice.
I know her. Yeah. Oh, when you're like reading a comic or something.
And then Phil Lamar as Jon Stewart. I'm like always.
Right.
Always his voice.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that, and I think depending on how Aquaman goes, which I think it could go pretty well. I don't know.
I hope so.
I think this has a very good chance to go well, especially with John's writing.
Oh yeah. He's got a good understanding of that universe.
He's basically responsible for repopularizing.
Not making him suck?
Yeah, like Green Lantern, like he had some okay arcs in the 90s and stuff, but none of that stuff compares to all the crazy stuff that happened in the last 10 years, especially like Blackest Night. And I'm wondering if, I'd imagine there's going to be elements of Blackest Night, like the other lanterns, the yellow, the red lanterns, orange lanterns.
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping so.
I would imagine that'll have something to do in this adaptation of Green Lantern Corps.
Should be fun.
So that's that. But we're not quite done with the news. We do have a special report.
Oh, do we?
As we all know, there was a little birdie told me that there's some stuff happening in the video game world right now.
There sure is.
There's a large convention of sorts, but no noobs allowed.
Yes.
Only industry professionals are allowed. And did we go there? No, of course not. We're not in the video game industry.
Mm-hmm.
But they have been showcasing stuff and letting the public know what's coming out. They've got some Tomb Raider, some Spider-Man. They've got some other games, with lots of quick time events.
Yeah, and slow-mo.
And slow-mo combat. Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, other than those two little pet peeves of mine, these games do look good.
What were some of the standouts for you?
I watched a little footage of the new Tomb Raider. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
It sort of looks like a way easier, less boring version of Metal Gear Solid.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, it's because like you sneak around and you can just snipe people with the arrows and stuff. So it's just a little easier.
Right.
I saw the Spider-Man game looks pretty nifty.
Yeah. That looks fun.
There's a part where you're in the tube and it just plays with the camera stuff.
Mm.
It looks pretty neat.
I like me some Spider-Man.
Yeah, what did you find?
Oh man, so much.
Why don't you go through just go through a bunch, just name them, and then you can maybe highlight a couple.
So we had Super Smash Bros. Ultimate announced. I take that back. I do have a Nintendo Switch. I haven't touched it. It's something my brother touches.
Nintendo Switch is pretty rad.
I know. I gotta get on that, and I gotta get this Super Smash Bros. Game. In addition to Super Mario Party. Good God, I needed me a Mario Party. I didn't know I needed it, but here it comes, and I'll take it.
Oh no, you said I didn't know I needed it. That's my new least favorite internet thing.
That's just code for like...
The sequel you didn't know you needed.
Oh God.
It's just become a clickbait. Never mind.
I just forgot about it.
I digress.
I forgot. I was like, that's right. Okay. Mario Party, goddammit.
All right, so in that case, it's 100% accurate.
Yes. We had some Halo Infinite, Last of Us 2, Gears of War 5. Those all look good, but the big announcements for me that I pretty much, oh man, I lost it over was the last two announcements at the Bethesda conference.
Oh yeah?
Where they revealed their new IP, Starfield, and then they revealed the Elder Scrolls 6, which I think both games are coming out after next year, like when they reveal the next generation of consoles. I think is because they said next generation is when these are going to be on there.
Okay.
So dear God, I can't wait.
What did the footage for Smash Brothers look like?
We pretty much it's just pretty much your standard trailer. You get to see a lot of fighting, get to see some of the characters in action.
Looks good?
Yeah, it looks good. I think
get to see some Kirby floating around.
I'm trying to did I see? There was some
okay.
Ike. There's some DK, some Snake's back, Pac-Man's back. It should be fun.
I was a big Kirby guy because I'm sort of a normie.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I'm pretty much a normie when it comes to gaming, but I would really like to see the new Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah, I think they're rarely bad because they just, first of all, you make your own story.
Right.
It's so good.
I'll say this about E3. This has kind of renewed my interest in games.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of like stuff that I was hearing and just seeing, like, there's some of these games where it's just like quick time events the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was playing one of the God of War games.
Right.
I'm like, what the hell is this? Is this a movie, a game, an interactive movie? Like,
right.
Yeah, like it's like almost the same principles as like those putt games from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, because you just click on shit and then it does the animation.
Right.
But this, I would say, yeah, like I said, it's kind of renewed my interest.
Yeah.
Although all these shooters still look the same to me.
Yeah,
Some guy with a gigantic 90s X-Men style gun.
Right. There's a lot of them where it's just, I wasn't excited with, we saw a lot of the stuff from EA, I'm just like, Like Battlefield 5, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
EA, of course, is going to be the punching bag of gaming forever.
That's what I've been hearing. That's what word on the street is.
You know what? They goddamn deserve it.
Okay. There you have it.
EA deserves... E3... EA, they deserve it.
EA deserves to be shit on. E3, however, we commend.
I liked it this year. It was a good one.
Yeah. So that's it for E3. Now we move on to reviews. I recently saw a little feature film known as Hotel Artemis.
We were excited for this one.
I was, but turned out to be slightly disappointing.
Really?
And if you'd like to put 8 minutes on the clock, I can tell you why.
I sure do want to put 8 minutes on the clock, because it's interesting, because we were talking about originals versus adaptations.
Right.
I saw an adaptation, you saw an original.
Or you saw rather...
A spin-off. Prequel, sequel, fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Thing.
Something not original.
And you saw something that was original, yet both kind of ended up getting similar-ish opinions from us. So
right.
I will let you begin thusly.
Okay, so I was slightly disappointed. However, there were a lot of things that it did do right.
Okay.
Because this was by no means terrible. It was entirely watchable. There's moments of it that were really great.
It was no Terminal.
No. Terminal was a sack of shit.
There's your mini review.
Yes. 1 out of 5. Fucking horrible.
Good.
Yeah, you know what? That's our first 1 out of 5. There you go. But back to the real review. Let's see. What it did right. Acting was superb from everyone. Especially out of Jodie Foster, who plays the nurse, and Sterling K. Brown, who plays Waikiki.
Yeah, I noticed that like everybody's named after places or something.
Yeah. What's her name? Sophia Boutella's niece.
Okay.
The reason for that is at the Hotel Artemis. This is not really a spoiler. It just kind of explains the plot setting a little.
Where you from?
The Hotel Artemis is like, it's a place where criminals can go to get fixed up, and of course it has rules: no guns, no attacking staff, etc., etc. You know, it's very similar to the Continental in John Wick, although it's less like interconnected to the crime world. It's just kind of like Jodie Foster's just this cool nurse who just like does this, and you know, obviously she's a hard drinker, and you can tell she's had some. You know, she may have gotten her medical license revoked. It's it's like one of those kinds of things, like a mob doctor.
Right.
And the reason they're all named that is because the rooms, you know, they all keep themselves anonymous. So the rooms the suites have different names, like the Honolulu suite, the Nice suite. So whatever room you take is your name. So that's why Sterling K. Brown was Waikiki. And I would say other thing it did right was the character development.
Really?
Because even though these characters are all kind of terrible people and they're all criminals, or at least it's implied that they've all had rough patches of life.
Right.
You cared about them at least in the slightest bit. You were at least interested to know where it was going to go.
Okay.
And it was weird, you could sort of sympathize with them a little bit. Like to a point.
Okay.
So action the acting was done well, the story, the setting, the character development, that was all fine.
Okay.
The idea of this world made sense because it's in the slight future, and there's a lot of cool uses of, well, technically current technology, but it's like it's like, man, imagine if 10 years from now it's going to be this good.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of cool stuff with 3D printing, some other nanotechnology. So there are a lot of neat what-if scenarios. And, yeah, so that's what it did well.
Where'd the movie go wrong?
Where the movie went wrong, it promised more of an action story.
Okay, in the trailer, you mean?
Yeah. And really, like, with that, this is like a minor spoiler. Really, the only, like, large amounts of the most voluminous action, or I don't know. Fuck it. The place where there was the most action.
Right.
Was all at the end. And at that point, it wasn't like, oh, this is too tone jarring, but it almost felt out of place, and I was kind of like, this fight scene was kick-ass. Why the hell couldn't there be more of them? Because they did that thing where, when a fight scene has two locations at once kind of deal, they cut it a bunch in the trailer to make it look like there's going to be a bunch more fight scenes.
Oh, right.
Because really, it's all at the end. There were certain elements of plot that sort of fizzled out, or it was kind of like sprung on you too little too late. There's a thing with Jeff Goldblum's character. It really lacked impact because he's not in the movie for most of, I would say, probably not until about halfway in.
Really?
Or even later, maybe, because this is not a long movie. He didn't come in until about, I would say, between 50 or an hour, if I were going to guess off the top of my head. And I got to say, he really was phoning it in.
Oh, that sucks.
He was kind of just being like, I'm just riding off the coattails of Grandmaster, this goofy kind of loosey-goosey sort of lax guy.
Oh, that stinks.
And he tries to do it again. It wasn't working.
Oh.
So the lack of action also, it messed with the pacing. Because I thought, you know what? You've set up such a perfect, pressure cooker for action scenes, and it just took too long to get to them.
Yeah, that was something that I heard from a lot of people, is that there are certain scenes in the movie that also tend to build up to what you think is going to be an action scene, and it just kind of doesn't fulfill that promise.
A lot of this felt like almost like a stage play at some points, because it's so centralized. Because you know how on stage there'll be, let's say it's like a scene of like a riot or a parade or something, but you know how it's like you get like a leftover streamer or something's like on the side or whatever,
right?
It like implies that there's more than just what you're seeing. This did a lot of that, where it shows you glimpses of what's going on outside, because it's supposed to be during like the worst riots in the history of California.
Oh, jeez.
And it was like a cool premise, and I mean, honestly, it was almost too big for such a small thing.
How was Dave Bautista?
Great.
How much is he? If you're a Dave Bautista fan, you're gonna get your fill on this.
Yes, and it's not just Drax. It's like a I don't know how to describe him. He's almost like a big baby, sort of.
Okay.
And the nurse is kind of mean to him.
Nice.
It's like that typical, like, like sort of vaudevillian, like, little guys like, come on, numbskull, where are we going, boss? Like, they had that kind of relationship. And again, the character, like, everything on the characters was pretty much pitch perfect, aside from Jeff Goldblum. I wasn't really feeling. Sophia Boutelle was awesome again.
How was Charlie Day?
He was kind of unnecessary.
No, okay, so his character wasn't really integral. How was his acting? Was he better than? Oh, okay.
That's what I mean. He was kind of just like
doing the Charlie Day.
Well, he not necessarily doing the Charlie Day. It's just like his character is kind of lame and didn't really add it. He's just a jerk, I guess. And see, that's the thing. A lot of things just sort of fizzle out. He had no real importance. And if there was something more to him, I clearly missed it, and it went over my head because ultimately he didn't matter. So, again, those were the main issues. The lack of action, and again, you can do the subtle sort of Reservoir Dogs is something that's like, again, that's what I mean by it implies more to the world. Because you never see the robbery. You never
see it, no.
But you don't need to, because it works on its own. This, it it felt like it needed the extra action that it was implied to have, but it wasn't there.
Okay, so overall, what were your what would you give it?
I'd give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay, so that's decent. It's not horrible.
Again, the effort was certainly there. It's just don't sell. I'm sick of this shit with trailers. Don't sell me that this is an action movie
when it's not.
When it's basically not.
Yeah.
So 3 out of 5, mostly because of the lack of action.
Okay, that's not horrible. I was expecting a little bit worse, but maybe I'll see it. Who knows?
Nah, you can skip it.
Okay.
Now, you saw Ocean's 8, correct?
I did see Ocean's 8.
Would you like to put 8 minutes on the clock?
I do want to put 8 minutes on the clock. As I'm doing that, I'll give you a little bit of background on my experience with that Ocean's 8, rather the Ocean's trilogy before it. I love 1 and 3. Ocean's 11 and 13 are fantastic movies. 11 is one of my favorite movies ever. 12 is okay, but I would say I'm enough of a fan to care if they fucked up, the lore of the Ocean's movies. And I have to say, this is a sequel. It's not a spin-off, or it's not a reboot. It's not a prequel or anything like that. It is a direct sequel to the original Ocean's trilogy. And I feel this way about a lot of movies. I felt this way about Han Solo. I felt this way about Ghostbusters. It's a movie. This is a fine movie. You got a bunch of talented actors.
You thought Ghostbusters was okay?
It's not horrible.
The new one?
It's not horrible. Again, that's coming.
I watched like 10 minutes of that and thought it was complete garbage.
I mean, it's like it's it's complete garbage is you got to watch this movie called Mother's Day Massacre, because that is just unwatchable. Like it's like that's the thing that always.
You're too nice, man.
The thing is like Ghostbusters is like it's bad, but like fucking it gets worse. Like it can get worse than Ghostbusters. Like you've seen movies that bad.
Yeah, I've seen movies like I've for sure seen worse movies, but it's like not many.
Right, but it's just like
well, it
doesn't really
matter.
do much.
I can't really judge because I haven't seen the whole thing. It's just the scenes I've seen.
Oh yeah,
I just caught a little bit of it on cable. Like, fuck it, change the channel.
It's not great, and I won't even.
Let's get back to Ocean's 8.
And it's the same thing with this movie. This movie doesn't really do much to. It's weird that this movie is like becoming the cross, like freaking Ghostbusters. This is becoming the cross that so many feminists and like. Big time like misogynist or men's rights people want to like die on. It's like this movie doesn't do anything. It just exists.
Right. We're talking about the movie just as a thing.
Yeah, that's it. It's an enjoyable, like watchable thing.
So to you, would it be comparable with maybe The Newborn?
You mean Jason Bourne?
Whichever the hell. Well, actually, either one.
Not the Jeremy Renner one.
Either one. How would you? Because like.
It's closer to the Matt Damon one than the Jeremy Renner one.
Okay.
The Jeremy Renner one's not good.
Okay, so
it's like I feel this way about Han Solo. It's probably the closest movie this year that I feel about.
Right.
It's a movie that you can watch. It's watchable. It's not very inspired. There are good parts. The performances overall are fine.
So what you're saying is it's like basically just unnecessary.
Didn't need to happen.
We
didn't need this. Sandy Bullock's great. She's great in most things. Kate Blanchett's good too. All
right.
Kate Blanchett's never bad, like in anything. She's great in this.
She sure as hell fooled me in Bob.
I'm Not There.
I just can't believe that. To this day, I remember we were in class. Man, this guy does a good Bob Dylan impression. Dude, that's Kate Blanchett.
Yeah, it's like that's fucking Galadriel.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, she's great.
She's a talented lady.
Oh yeah, even everybody else is fine too. Anne Hathaway, I thought was a standout. She's actually really funny in this. Helena Bonham Carter's good. Mindy Kaling's fine. They're not pretty much everybody else is like they're not really in it that much. Like Mindy Kaling's in it. Awkwafina's in it. Rihanna's in it, and it's like. Like they don't really do a whole lot. They're just kind of pieces to this heist that eventually gets pulled off.
See, this I'll level with you more. Like, I didn't have an interest in seeing this, but it was more like,
Yeah.
It wasn't like the Ghostbusters where I'm like, God, kill me.
Yeah, no. It's
like,
And I saw an article about this where someone's like, why you haven't been hearing as much from fanboys about Ocean's 8? And I'm like, I already know the answer to that question. It's because people who love Ocean's 11 weren't born in like 1975 and like worship it as a cultural fixture of American pop culture.
Well,
you know, like,
and also it's a remake of an old movie.
Yeah, there's not this like Ghostbusters is like that's a huge deal to a lot of people. And while a lot of reactions are,
I don't mean to be the turd in the punch bowl, but I mean, I like Ghostbusters, but Jesus H.
Oh,
it's just
I feel
like,
the same way. It's a good movie.
It's not even close to being in my top 100.
Oh no, not me neither. Like it's a good, funny movie, and
it's plenty good.
Yeah, and I would say
good.
It's like a very very representational of like American blockbusters in the 80s. You know, like good fun. Like here's a couple action scenes, a lot of jokes. But it's not my favorite movie, but I get why people were mad, because I know why it's so many people's favorite movie.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm saying is there's the sequels where I'm like, another, and then I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
Like because again, The Bourne, I had this, I'm like, well, the Bourne one, I was kind of in between the oh god and another one, because it's like, what the fuck? I thought at the end of 3 things are
resolved.
Pretty much resolved.
Yeah.
So to me, that's more of like an egregious one where it's like, come on.
Yeah, this is like feasibly this movie could have happened. Yeah, like okay, but Danny Ocean has a sister, but it's like you can do that with anything.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like you can't predict the Mission Impossibles and Fast and the Furious that just for some reason shouldn't work and then do. Mm-hmm. But I feel like everyone's trying to catch lightning in a bottle and do so.
Right. And that was something that I brought up with me and my girlfriend were talking about this, and she was pissed about it. Like she's like, why can't you make a fucking heist movie that's actually like an original ass movie? Like why can't you just do that?
Well, that's the thing. You know that this happens a lot with direct to video movies is they'll take spec scripts and they'll be like, well, why don't we just make it a Hellraiser script?
Yeah. Because
that happened with one of the Hellraiser movies.
Yeah.
Which I've had the unfortunate pleasure of seeing all of them, except for like the last 2.
That happened with Die Hard 3.
Right.
Die Hard 3.
Did it?
Yeah, Die Hard 3 was a spec script called Simon Says.
Oh, yeah.
And they turned it into a Die Hard movie. And
that's like a little easier to like understand, though.
Right.
I'm telling you, this one... So, I like the first 3 Hellraisers. I think they're great. Mm-hmm. And... 4, it's like a severe nosedive from that point down, or that point on. But it was like number 7 or something. Whatever. The point was, it was about this journalist who was like discovering this Romanian cult.
Is this the one by Scott Derrickson?
No, that was... I don't know. It was like 4 no, it was 5 or 6. I don't know. This one, whatever the hell it was, I think it was Deader. They all have dumb... That's the thing. The titles don't help you differentiate. The only one where it's like... there's Bloodline, which is about like a family. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it doesn't... Fuck, I'm getting off topic. Well, we're way off topic. Not the point. Anyway, it's about this Romanian death cult thing. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, what is this? And she's just, in Romania learning about it.
Right.
And that's like, oh, by the way, here's Pinhead just kind of lazily shoehorned in.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, just add a puzzle box. And then he's related to this death cult, but not really. Mm-hmm. And you can totally tell. It's like, this was definitely just about the cult first, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like with this, a little bit.
Yeah?
I will say this, and it's weird. When this movie tries to kind of mimic Steven Soderbergh's style, it's directed by Gary Ross, who's a pretty good director, that's when the movie's at its best. Because I'm like, okay, this is just like a not as good Ocean's movie. It's like still pretty good, but not as good as the originals. But when the movie tries to do its own thing, boy, does it get bad. Like, especially towards the end. It kind of tries to do its own thing, and namely by including James Corden in the mix.
Ew.
And it's, you know what? I feel for the guy, because it's like, he was a legitimate performer, but when I see him on screen, I cannot divorce myself. I can't divorce him from the goddamn character he is on his late night show. Like, it just feels like James Corden walks in from the audience and, like, phases through the movie screen and kind of starts asking characters questions, like, as an audience member. It just doesn't work. It feels weird and wrong.
Wait, he does that?
Well, no, but it's like it feels like that.
Oh, I was spacing out for a second.
But it's just,
you mentioned James Corden, and I'm not gonna lie, I sort of stopped listening.
I don't blame you, but it's just it didn't work for me. Whenever the movie diverged from that original style of the Soderbergh films, it just didn't work.
See, he's one of those guys where if he's involved and it's like anything bigger than a bit part, I'm immediately less interested.
Yeah, and thankfully,
and a lead, that's like a deal breaker.
Well, I mean,
if he is a lead part in anything, I'm not interested.
Right. That's why I wasn't really a big Into the Woods fan, and I didn't want to see it. But this, he's thankfully not in it a lot. Yeah, he's in it at the end, but yeah, it's not a bad movie. It's enjoyable. Not necessarily very funny. It's not as funny as the original Oceans. But it's an enjoyable movie. It's interesting to see how they put it all together, like any heist movie. Do I recommend seeing it? I don't know.
So that sounds like what I call a rainy day you watch it on FX movie.
I want you to take a guess what my score for this movie is.
Oh my god! If you say 7.5, I'm gonna smack you.
No, it's actually just a solid 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my go-to rating for you know what? It's a movie. It's not long. I enjoyed it. I was invested. I wasn't really bored. It didn't really thrill me as much, as an 8 out of 10 would, but it was a movie.
That's kind of weird, though. It seems like there's a lot of those movies coming out.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of those movies this year.
It's just kind of annoying. It's like there's such a high volume of mediocre movies coming out because studios they're too afraid to make something truly awful, so they do everything. It's like they have something that's not good, and then they just try and sort of how the phrase goes, like polish a turd.
Hopefully Venom's gonna be that movie, because
I want fun. It's like, that's the thing. It's like, can you just either make something good, or if you're gonna make something bad, make it
really bad.
Make it bad with a stumble and a crash and a fall.
Yeah, make it Batman and Robin bad.
Yeah. It's been forever since I've seen a movie that type of bad.
Or if you're gonna make it bad, don't make it boring.
Right?
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
That's the trapping of many a movie that just sucks now. It's just it's boring,
Right. It's so bland.
I've yet to see a movie that's actually no, I take that back. I have seen a movie this year that I won't even mention that was so bad it was hilarious.
You won't mention it?
No.
Why not?
It involves fondling dog privates.
Oh, God. Wait, what was that movie?
Show Dogs.
Oh, no.
Maybe that'll be a...
Show Dogs?
Yeah, maybe that's a discussion for another day, but...
God.
I wasn't the biggest fan of Ocean's 8. I wasn't the biggest hater of it.
All right, so it was just A-okay.
Yes.
All right, so that does it for our reviews of Hotel Artemis and Ocean's 8. And now we move on to the game section. I get to possibly have my revenge with another round of Guess the Movie based on the critical thrashing.
Yes.
This time, YouTube Comments Edition.
Oh, boy.
All right, so I'll now pull up my Word document. You ready?
I sure am. Let me have it.
All right. The first review is by username Dorfjung, or Junge, I don't know. Something weird. Anyway, review reads as follows. I remember that I was so unbelievably bored by this movie that I started to play with Lego at the last third. And yeah, it's just Lego.
Okay.
At the last third. Nothing happens, and the kids are just doing boring, stupid, and annoying stuff. Gigantic mountain of shit. And your choices are A, The Never-Ending Story, B, Hook, C, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, or D, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Ooh. I want to say, is it E.T.?
You're correct.
So obviously this is a child.
Nah, this guy is I looked at his other comments. I think this guy... Well, he has uploads, but I'm not sure if they're him.
Ah, so he's an adult playing with Legos, watching E.T. and...
Well, he said, I was so unbelievably bored by this when I remember that.
Oh, so he was doing it maybe when he was a kid.
Yeah.
When he saw it for the first time. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
he was not a fan, apparently. And
sheesh.
I looked at his, you know how there's, the discussion tab?
Mm-hmm.
It was, ranged from, Hi, Dorf Young, thanks for liking my page. And then I found one, It was like, you're so unbelievably stupid, it's nothing short of shocking. So,
I like that.
yeah.
Good follow-up.
Gigantic mountain of shit for E.T. That's really harsh. That's crazy.
That is fairly harsh. I mean, I get, you don't like E.T., whatever, but gigantic mountain of shit, huh?
Yeah. I don't get how it's so boring that you'd play with Legos.
How old was this kid?
When he saw... That's what I'm wondering. It's like, how old are you? Like, you're still playing with Legos. Let's say at oldest, like 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, this movie was that bad for you as a 10-year-old. Didn't capture your imagination.
Reese's Pieces, man.
Right?
Come on.
Product placement.
Come on, man.
Good product placement. Yeah. All right, moving on. So you got here 1 for 1. Damn. All right.
Don't jinx me.
Yeah. Well, you're 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe my jinx will work. Anyway.
Okay.
From, let's just call him T. Viente. I'm not going to give real names if they use their real name. Let's call him T. Viente. He wrote of this film, Jesus, this movie is mostly unfunny, save for Jim Carrey's blank scene. It's okay for 12-year-olds, but for adults, it's an insult. The characters are unlikable bunch of punching bags. The actors really did their part, but the writer wasn't goofy enough. Again, blank film is dumb. The choices are A. The Mask, B. Truman Show, C. Ace Ventura, or D. Dumb and Dumber.
Is it Dumb and Dumber?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I heard the characters are just punching bags, and I'm like, okay, so they do get beat up a bit. They get thrown around some. That's okay.
Hold on. You know what's my favorite? He says the writer wasn't goofy enough.
First of all,
and
two people wrote
blank,
that movie. You fucking charlatan.
Yeah.
Like, do your research, pal. I don't know if you know this, but YouTube's a very, very respectable medium.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Like, get your shit straight.
Also, the blank scene is the imagination scene.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Which he's talking about, the fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, come on. This movie isn't goofy enough for you.
We have fucking Jeff Daniels shitting on a toilet for, like, 3 minutes. Like, come on, guys. They drive a sheepdog.
Yeah. I was about to be like, look at the car they drive.
Yeah.
Or, like, the ketchup and mustard. It's like, nope, not goofy enough.
Come on, man. Not goofy. What's
and this is the other thing. He's like, it's not goofy enough, but it's too childish. It's like,
yeah, and it's dumb.
Isn't goofy childish?
Like, what did you want? Like, what were you expecting? I don't know.
I want refined fart jokes.
Yeah.
I want refined ketchup and mustard jokes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
was looking for a Pekingese car, actually.
Yeah.
Not a sheepdog.
Yeah, he's just a little too hard to please.
I feel him.
Next, we got Little Gojira.
Okay.
His review reads, the shittiest horror movie ever. That's it. Man. And your choices are A. Halloween, B. Psycho, C. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or D. Friday the 13th.
Since we're on the topic of it today, I'm going to say Halloween.
Yeah. I figured that was too easy. Shittiest horror movie ever.
Really?
I almost think this kid's just an elaborate troll.
Well, I mean...
Perhaps provoking a reaction.
Well, YouTube is a
feeding ground for provocateurs.
And hyperbole, that's for sure. And obviously this guy hasn't seen...
Hellraiser 4 through... Yeah, I was about to say.
There's a lot of bad ones.
Yeah. Ugh. Like, Halloween, or just within... I'm pretty sure Resurrection's worse.
Yeah.
Ugh. I still like it, even though it's bad.
Which one's the one with Paul Rudd again?
That's 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked this up because we couldn't remember it last time.
I know Paul Rudd's in one of them.
It's the one that people hated the most.
It came out in was it like 2000 or 1999 or something?
It was weird because for as many times as I've seen 1, 4, 5, and even 3 and 2 and H2O, that one is by far the one I've seen the least. It's the one they show on TV the least.
Yeah.
It's the one people talk about the least. It was really hated.
History kind of buried that one.
Well, it's because he's a druid, and the idea was he killed people so that the other people in the clan is a self-defense mechanism. It was weird. Yeah, I was doing a lot of Halloween research this week. Anyway, moving along, we've got some User Stagleton, his review reads, Iceland? Christ's sake, at least pick Finland or Sweden. Is he talking about A, Mighty Ducks, B, D2 Mighty Ducks, C, Mystery Alaska, or D, Miracle?
D2 Mighty Ducks?
That is correct.
Son of a bitch.
I knew that was an easy one. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, like, it's been a while since I've seen all of them, but I'm like, which one's the one? Because I know that one of them is they go to Iceland, or they...
Yeah. The ice. You know what? I'm going to say that's a fair criticism.
What?
That's a completely fair criticism. Like, Iceland's not, like, the best at hockey.
You know what's weird is, like, you know what they've gotten surprisingly good at over the past few years?
What's that?
Soccer.
Have they?
They're, like, supremely good at it, and I guess it's a sport that, like, just got introduced there in the past 20 years.
Okay, well, is the World Cup this year?
Yeah.
All right, shows what a soccer fan I am.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, of course. Oh, no, it's football. And, and nil.
Football.
No, it's 0 and it's soccer. Anyway, so, yeah, I guess we'll find out if that's true. Next is username Alexander the Not So Great. Review: The Rock in a bad movie? Meh. That's not surprising at all. Any movie with his name... Okay, here's my favorite. Any movie with his name on it is destined for failure. Is he talking about A, Gridiron Gang, B, Walking Tall, C, Rundown, or D, Scorpion King?
Oh, I'm going to say Scorpion King.
Yeah, this was... these
because I know it's a special movie to you.
Yes. First of all, how dare he?
I know.
That movie was a smash hit as far as I'm concerned. And also, not surprising at all, any movie with his name on it is destined for failure.
Are you kidding? Like even
is he
like,
aware that like The Rock prints money, whether you like him or not?
Like failure how? Like what do you mean? Like failure commercially? Because no,
yeah,
that is untrue.
Absolutely not.
I mean, you don't have to like the guy
critically.
Does it matter? You know,
not really.
I guess not.
When you make that much money,
right?
Yeah. I just realized these were all way too easy.
No, I think I guessed on a lot of them. I used context clues because I'm like...
I really thought the E.T. one, I didn't think you'd get that.
See, that was a guess too, because I was like, what were the choices again for those?
For E.T. it was Neverending Story, Hook, E.T. and Mrs. Doubtfire.
See, because you like one of the one thing that threw me in there, or not threw me, actually helped me was like the kids do nothing, and I'm like, what?
Well, see, that's the thing is I tried to find a movie with kids.
Mm-hmm. See, like Hook,
Mrs.
I was like,
Doubtfire.
Yeah, Mrs. Doubt. Well, the kids don't do anything in that movie, but it's all about Robin Williams. Right. So I was like, what's a movie that's like focused on the kids, but like, you know, so I was like, E.T. kind of is.
I knew I should have used Camp Nowhere.
Oh, man.
It's a classic. Anyway, well, that was super short, actually.
Yeah, that went pretty quick, but hey.
Well, you'd be surprised how hard it is to find hateful comments on YouTube when you're looking for them.
Oh, yeah. They usually just happen out of nowhere.
That's what's so weird. I'm like, I see these all the time. How hard can this be to find? And it was very hard. Because, like, a lot of people apparently on this one review for Halloween were hating on it. They can all go to hell. Anyway, moving along. I guess it's already time for Game 2.
Yes,
all right.
It sure is.
So that was quick. Game 2 is, it's similar to... guess the movie based on the obscure line.
Yes.
But this time it's a game called Call and Response, where an exchange is read, and then the opposing player must finish off the exchange with the last line. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, let's get... That was a really bad description, but hey...
You'll get the hang of it once we get a few of these in.
Right, exactly.
All
right. Want to go first?
Do you want me to give you one first or receive first?
I said, do you want to go first?
Oh, I will give you one first, yes.
No. God, this is like bad Abbott and Costello
Yeah,
routine.
it's like who's on first.
Yeah,
okay,
who's on first?
I'm gonna give you yours first.
Oh, you're gonna give? Okay.
Yes,
I will. Go for it.
You will receive.
All right.
Okay, so
ask and you shall receive.
Yes. Here's your number. Here's your first one. Alpine Drive, big place. No way. That's great. And then you would say,
I don't know.
We landed on the moon.
Oh. That's a good one. I I knew it was Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, yeah.
I somehow knew, but I didn't know the...
So it's not necessarily an exchange, but it's like those were the lines that Lloyd says before he leaves that bar to go visit Mary Samsonite.
So that's not how... Okay, so that was a bad first example.
Yes, but this one should be better, whatever it is.
So, person one. I just want you to say... I just want to say one word to you. Just one word. Yes, sir? Are you listening? Yes, I am. And then he says...
Plastics.
That's correct.
Good movie.
Yes, well done.
Okay. So, we got 2 people in this upcoming scene.
Okay.
It's Little Nero's, sir. I have your pizza. Leave it on the doorstep and get the hell out of here. Okay. Well, what about the money? What money? And then you would say...
Oh, fuck. I don't know the verbatim, but it's like... Oh, you have to pay me for your pizza, sir.
I'll give it to you.
What's the verbatim?
We have to pay for your pizza, sir.
I was like one word off.
Is that a fact?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah. Home Alone 1, the scene with the pizza with angels with filled mouths. I was very aware.
And Gangster Johnny.
That's right.
Okay.
Give you the count of 10. 1, 2, 10.
1, 2, 10.
All right. Moving along.
Go ahead.
One person says, ugly doll. And then in response...
Oh, man. I know what this is from, but I can't remember. Just give it to me. What is it?
Fuck you.
Yeah.
So it was Chucky, like the lady, Play. Like he's in the elevator.
Yeah.
It's like, oh look, some child left their doll. Ugly doll. I guess I could have had the other line in there.
No, it's fair. It's fair. Yeah. Turnabout's fair play.
See, that's how this is actually supposed to work, is it's just line.
Yeah.
But we didn't follow that on, any of these.
That's okay.
All right, moving on to yours.
Well, here's yours. The leads are weak. The fucking leads are weak? You're weak. I've been in this business 15 years. What's your name? And then you would say...
I don't know.
Fuck you! That's my name! From Glengarry Glen Ross.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Alec Baldwin. There's like 30 of those in this scene where you're like, you could do any of those lines. Where he's like, first place is whatever the car, and he's like, second place is a set of steak knives. Third place is you're fired.
Yeah. That's a killer movie.
It's a dream killer movie.
Oh, it sure is, Billy.
Never want to do sales. I didn't want to do sales. Never ever want to do sales ever.
Oh.
No thank you, Shelley Levine.
I hear that. All right. This one should be a toss-up.
Okay.
Or a layup, if you will.
Yes.
Housekeeping? You want mint for a pillow? Please go away. Let me sleep, for the love of God. Housekeeping? You want me to jerk you off? Responded with...
I don't know the exact line, but it's like, what kind of a place is this? What kind of a hotel is this? Is that what it is?
Oh, is that your final answer?
I'll say, what kind of a hotel is this?
You said, it's what kind of hotel is this?
Oh, right.
You know what? I'll give it to you. That's right. What kind of hotel is this?
Richard, I'm so happy.
From Tommy Boy, of course.
Of course, from Tommy Boy. Okay. This one's a little bit more difficult, but it's not as difficult as the one after it. So I'll give it to you. And it's just one line. Are we awake? And you would say...
I don't fucking know.
We're not sure. Are we black? It's from Blazing Saddles.
Oh. I don't know that one.
We sure are. Then he goes, and we're awake, but we're very puzzled.
I don't know that one.
I tried to pick like one of the most obscure ones from Blazing Saddles. I was gonna do the playing chess and screwing one, but I feel like you would have gotten that because I mentioned it recently.
Yeah, it's actually been a long time since I've seen that one.
Oh man, gotta treat yourself. It's been too long for me too.
No, I told you it's been a long time since I've revisited a lot of the classics.
Oh boy. Anyway,
moving on to this next one. You better tell the captain we've got to land as soon as we can. This woman has to be gotten to a hospital. A hospital? What is it? And then he says...
I don't know the line, but I know it's from Airplane.
Yes, that is correct.
Oh, God. He explains what a hospital is, right?
Yeah, that's...
Damn it, I don't know the exact line.
I'm sorry, that's not... That is...
Hit me with it.
It's a big building with patients, but that's not what's important right now. Remember when people used to like tell jokes in movies and comedies?
Oh yeah,
it's crazy, right?
that's another movie. I just like, God damn it, I need to fucking watch more of it or watch it again.
Oh, it's a good one.
Ah, so good.
That might be like, it's up there. It's somewhere in the top 5.
Oh, for comedies?
For comedies,
oh,
yes.
for sure. I would say so.
All right.
All right, your final and by far the most difficult one. It'll get you my good graces if you get this one right.
Okay.
I had R&D work it up. Sends out a high-frequency pulse. Records a response time for mapping an environment. Sonar. Just like, and then you would say...
I don't fucking know. Is it from Jaws?
No, it's from The Dark Knight. A submarine, Mr. Wayne.
Oh.
Like a submarine, because like it's one of my favorite lines. Because like you think he's gonna say bat. It's like they have that relationship.
I thought you were saying. I thought you were doing the Robert Shaw voice.
Oh, Robert Shaw. Hey.
Yeah.
hey, Chief.
Yeah.
Fucking Robert Shaw.
Yeah.
The
Anyway.
best part of From Russia with Love.
Yeah.
By far.
All right, moving along to your last one. This might be easy. You know what I used to have for breakfast? Cocaine. What? Know what I had for lunch? Cocaine. What'd you have for dinner? And then you say,
oh, God, I don't know what this is. Is it from Wolf of Wall Street?
No.
Cocaine?
That was close, but
okay.
No, I can't accept it because you're missing 2 words.
What is it?
Was it cocaine?
Oh,
it's the what's her name? God, the lady who's in a bunch of comedies, Jane Lynch.
Oh,
in Role Models.
Oh, fuck.
You know what I had for breakfast? Cocaine.
My girlfriend's gonna fucking murder me.
You know what I had for lunch? Cocaine. What did you have for dinner? Was it cocaine? Come on.
God, I gotta that. All right. So many comedies that I'm just like, I'm fucking skimping on seeing all these like more than once.
Oh, by the way, you like we didn't tally, but you destroyed me in the what was it? Metacritic versus YouTube.
Oh yeah, fuck it.
I think you got all of them, if I'm not mistaken.
So for next game, for that game, are we gonna cycle back to like critics and then go to IMDb and then to Metacritic and then YouTube again?
No, YouTube is never being used again. Like that was the worst. Like trying to find funny quotes.
Maybe we'll find a 4chan movie.
Oh God, no. Well, if you want to get that seedy, you could do like
even
4chan
worse.
live leak. It could get worse. Yes.
Is this Is this comment about A, someone getting beaten up at a Portillo's?
No.
B, a bank robbery?
No, I'm not talking about reviewing the videos.
Right.
It's just like I don't know.
Right.
Anyway, again, we got really off topic.
That's okay.
All right. So, did you have a final one, or are we done?
I think we're done.
Okay. So you got. Let's see. You got the hotel one, and you got the plastic. So you went 2 out of 5.
Yes, and I think you ended up getting the little Neros.
Yes. So just 1 out of 5. So you beat me by the narrowest of victories.
This was quite hard.
Congratulations. Yes, this was difficult.
That about does it for the games, and that'll about do it for this episode of Bonus Features with Alex and Robert, episode 15. Feel free to check us out on SoundCloud, YouTube, Facebook. Like us, subscribe to us, comment to us on any of those platforms. Let us know what you thought of the episode. If you had any thoughts on the movies we reviewed, Hotel Artemis and Ocean's 8. If there are any games that you liked out of E3 that we didn't talk about, drop us a line at any of the platforms we talked about, and we'll look forward to speaking to you next week.
Right, and remember to, again, check out our friends at Hip Hop Anonymous? Hip Hop Heads Anonymous and Bad Movie Brunch. Check them out. They're both great podcasts. Why are you still listening? The show is done. Don't worry, we'll be back with another one.
Another one.
Another one.
Out of my way! I gotta go! I'm serious! This summer, Bruce Valanche in I Can't Stop Going! Coming to theaters near you. God damn it.